Hey, you guys. I hope that everybody has had a good week, and I'm excited to be back and talking with you again. Um, to start off, I have not been feeling very good the past couple of days, not just with my UC, but I also think that I have a bit of a cold. And I'm on two medications that suppress my immune system. So when I get sick, it's hard for me to recover. So um, that is why I might sound a little funny and look like this as well. With that, um, that's something that I decided probably like a year ago that I wanted to do was when I am feeling really crappy with my ulcerative colitis is that I usually won't wear makeup because it is an invisible disease. It's something that you can't see. And so, I will be feeling really, really horrible, and people might not be able to tell at all because they can't see my inside of my intestine. They don't know that I am bleeding and having horrible pain all day. And so it's kind of my way of people can tell a difference. They're like, oh, you look different. You're not wearing makeup. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm not feeling very good. So, kind of funny, but that's my way that I kind of try to um, let people know that I'm not feeling well, so that they know why I might be acting a little bit differently or um, have to sit down more often or whatever it might be. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about in today's video is making the most out of doctor's visits. And I have been to more doctor's offices and visits in the last 2 years than I had ever been in my entire life. And it is a tricky thing to try to navigate. You have things going on in your body and you want help or you have questions or concerns, and you're going to a stranger and you're trusting that they are going to help you. And it's a weird thing, and you put a lot of trust in these people. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience with that and things that kind of have helped me. One thing that I've noticed is, I'll be going in and I'll think, okay, I have these questions or this concern, and then I get in there and my mind just goes blank and I forget, and then I leave and I am frustrated because I didn't get out of that doctor's appointment what I wanted to get out of it. You just kind of get flustered. Some people get really nervous being in a doctor's office. And so, one word of advice that I have is to write down your questions. You can have it as a note in your phone or on a sticky note or whatever. Bring a notebook with you, um, whatever to help you. But that way, you have it clearly written out and you're not going to forget a question. And so, take time before you go to the doctor's office, maybe a couple days before, even like a couple hours before, and just try to open up your mind, think about any questions that you really want to discuss with the doctor, and write them down and have it with you. If you have it on your phone, have it open, have the paper in front of you so that way you don't forget. And then the doctor will see it too, and they might say, oh, did you have other questions that you wanted to talk about? So that is one word of advice that I have. My second word of advice is, if you can, and if you're comfortable with it, bring somebody with you. If it is an important doctor's visit, if you have important things to talk about. I have found that helpful. I've had concerns or questions that I wanted to talk about with my doctor, and I had multiple visits where I didn't bring it up because I felt nervous and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And then I was able to have an appointment where my husband came and he helped to advocate for me and to ask the things that I had just been afraid to ask. And that was really helpful that, we had talked about it before, so he knew, and me and my husband, and so he was able to know what I wanted to talk about and help bring it up when I was having a hard time doing so. And I even shared that with my husband before. I was like, I have a hard, I haven't been able to bring up these questions or talk about this. And So I think that that can be really helpful, and that really depends from person to person. Some people might not be comfortable with that, but I have found that really helpful, to have someone there to help you. And to go along with that as well is that you need to be an advocate for yourself. It can be a little bit intimidating. Doctors are, they're very smart. They've done a lot of schooling. You're going there and to their place of work, and you can tell that they're busy and they have a lot going on. But you are the patient, and the patient is who the doctor is there for. And so you shouldn't feel that you are being rushed through, that your questions don't matter. You are paying to be there, quite literally, and it's expensive. Paying co-pays and other things for office visits. You are taking time out of your day, your schedule from work, whatever, to go and see that doctor. You're paying the co-pay. It is for your health, and it is a small window of time. Kind of depends on the doctor, but 20 minutes or however long that you actually get to be with them, you are paying for that, and it is for you. And so, you need to stand up for yourself. If they're not, hearing your questions or listening to your concerns or seeing what you're trying to show them, you need to try to speak up, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, because that appointment is for you. It's not for that doctor. It is for you. And so, don't be afraid to say, hey, like, I am really concerned about this and I need you to hear me. Like, I'm scared, I'm afraid, I'm in pain, I have these problems, and I'm here to get help. So that is another bit of advice that I have. And my last bit of advice is, if it's not working out, it's okay to find a different doctor. And that's something that I struggle with. And because you might build a relationship with a doctor, you might kind of feel bad, or like you're like going behind their back or something. But again, it is about you. It is about your health. It is about your care that you need. And so if you are going to a doctor and you feel like they don't have your best interest in mind, or that they're not hearing you, they're not listening to your concerns, after you bring those things up and try to communicate that with them, if you really feel like there's not a good connection, it's okay to look for another doctor. They suggest that we get second opinions, that we research and seek things out, but just know that it is okay. And so those are kind of my overall advice for making the most out of your doctor's visits: to have a list that you take with you of questions so that you don't forget anything, that you, if you feel comfortable with it, have a person there that you trust that can help you to navigate those things with the doctor, to really advocate for yourself, stand up for yourself, and let the doctor know really what your needs are and how you're hoping that they can help you to meet them. And if it comes to it, that you can always look for another doctor, because your health and your comfort and your well-being matter, and that's the most important thing. You are the primary focus of what that doctor is there to do, is to help you to reach the care that you need. I hope that those tips are helpful for you, and I hope that everybody has a great week. I'm going to stop talking now because my throat is hurting. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.